Hi guys, welcome to the unboxing and full review of this GEEDIAR Cordless Water Flosser. According to the listing, it says professional teeth cleaner, 240 milliliter portable and rechargeable IPX7, waterproof, collapsible, dental oral irrigator for home and travel, bracelet, bridges, care, 5 interchangeable, I think, tips. Yeah, then it's listed currently for about $34, which is pretty much standard for these things. So there's a new style. There was the old style. I mean, it's really similar, but there's no way to take it apart. Here with this thing, I think it's not only better for travel, it's also easier to use at home when you have this in this style. So you can open the whole tank, clean it, dry it, and also the tube which goes down is a little bit better made. So here we have some kind of description already on the side. I hope there's something inside like a manual. So here's some description as well outside, how to use. You can see it, how this works. It's pretty nice. You can take everything apart. I really like that. I had already two of similar water flossers, and always there was a problem with the tank. So usually the opening of the tank was not large enough, so it was not possible to clean and dry, or sometimes the opening, like the lid, fell apart. And so I thought, yeah, maybe this could be the better choice. Yeah, also on top we have some kind of detailed product information. By the way, it came sealed. I've already cut this to open that easier. So you can see how it comes. Looks like it's in a box, so that's definitely good for travel. Here's some kind of small booklet, something like quick instructions. I have to find out where to start. Here you see something. So I'm always going to show the instructions manual if ever possible, and I will do this here as well. It's a little bit mirroring, so if you need that, just go on the highest resolution like 1080p and then put it on pause, so you have plenty of time to read everything. So I'm always doing that to make a better buy decision. So yeah, you already had a good impression, so I think I'm not having to go into that. But there are a couple of different languages. I think it's not needed, so I think you had a really good impression. That's not bad here. That's really helpful. So I'm not going to show the whole thing here. So let's take it apart. It's also sealed. Really nice to see that you get a new one. So sometimes with some products you never know when you get like a refurbished one, but here definitely it's not the case. Looking really good. I mean, it's not super small for travel. You have to be aware of that it's not like a tiny thing. And here you get like a warning: important, read all instructions before use. Yeah, that's definitely, I'm going to show you that as well. Hope you can read that. I'm going to read everything before I'm going to use. I have to probably charge it anyway. So what we get is a USB charging cable. That's pretty helpful. So you can charge it like, when you have like a charger with you for your phone or headphones or whatever, you can use that. But of course you have to bring the cable with you. It's not like micro USB or USB-C, but usually when you have things which are waterproof or water resistant, you have to deal with such things. So here we have it, and here we have different tips. You can see they are somehow really sophisticated. I mean, I haven't seen something like that with screws. So usually they are just full plastic tip. Yeah, it's really interesting to see. So we can take it apart here, and yeah, it looks like I really have to read everything, but it looks like it has some weight. It's not really cheap. very light one, so definitely looks like that's something really sturdy, heavy. And what I really like already from the beginning, that's this cup here. You can see the water tank, you can clean it, you can empty it fully. There's no way, I mean, yeah, you can produce some mold, but you if you take normal precautions to dry and clean, you shouldn't have any problems with mold or whatsoever. Yeah, actually, I found that the user manual is not too big. I mean, there are different languages. I mean, there's English, there's German, that's yeah, probably Spanish, Italian, French, something like that. And yeah, so I'm trying to show you the whole thing really quickly. Hope you can see that it's focusing. Especially you can see the 4 different tips here which are important. And then we have the get started, like charging and how to fill it with water, inserting, removing the tips. And it's actually almost over. Yeah, maybe 2 more pages, something like that. Let's try and see. Troubleshoot, recommend techniques, tips. Yeah, and that's already German, so we are already done. To charge, yeah, we just remove this thing counterclockwise and then pull it out to secure it. It's a little bit, it's not hard, you can see it, just move it a little bit. The thing is, to open that is a little bit difficult. I mean, you really have to grab it. There's nothing which secures it. You can just grab it anywhere. Maybe it's the best from the top. Just make sure you keep this. Maybe put it inside here. The thing is, if you lose it, I think it's not so bad. It seems to be a little bit protected against the water. And yeah, anyway, if you have it like this, I mean, there's some kind of seal you can see here. So this is in between. So I think this is somehow protected. It's not extremely protected, but it's somehow protected if you put it like this. Yeah, there's no water from here. There's also not much water from here because you have this edge here. So I think it shouldn't be a problem if you lose that. To charge, yeah, we have to, of course, use this proprietary cable, but I think it's a cable which you could find like from razors or any kind of hair cutters. And yeah, I'm just charging this thing here with a power bank, but of course you can use anything. And what you can see here, there's some kind of blinking. I don't know if it starts with 1 LED and then when we are on 75%, yeah, then it's here. I haven't seen that. I mean, when it started, it was already here, but maybe it came pre-charged a lot. I mean, to totally charge, it takes up to 4 hours when it's totally empty. I'm trying to see how much charge we get into that, and when it stops, I'm going to test it. By the way, regarding the nozzles, I haven't seen the ones on the left side. So here we have the regular tip, so there's just one. If you break it, yeah, it's game over with that one. But you have these special things, and you have also like this special thing here. I think that's one for the braces, and that's the nasal cleaner. So you have also a special function for that. That's the sinus function here, that's used together with this one in your nose. So the blinking stopped, indicating that it's fully charged. So I really think that it's a charging indication here. I had to use only 350 milliampere hours, which is definitely not much. So it looks like it's nicely pre-charged when you get it. I mean, depending, of course, when you buy it in 5 years, maybe not so much anymore. So, but anyway, so looks really good now, and I take it out now into the bathroom and going to test. I'm not going to test all the tips, but I'm definitely going to test the normal tip here. But really looks like we get a spare one, and this is just like we pull it up here. And here there's also some instruction here. It's extension tube pull out. That's of course really important, otherwise it cannot suck in any kind of water. That's really comfortable here. So this thing goes all the way down then into the water container, and after that for travel, so you can just push this thing back and yeah, turn this down and put it over it, and yes, just put this back. So that's really super convenient. If you don't need these additional tips, I mean, you could actually just take this thing with you, including the cable, and you don't have to use this thing. That even saves some extra space. I mean, there's not much weight to save, but definitely a lot of space. So I'm going to show you the whole procedure from the beginning to the very end. I mean, of course, I'm not used to that, and it's my first time, but still I think, yeah, I'll put this on the side. I'm just going to rinse this. I mean, I highly recommend to do a better rinse, of course. I'm not using it for me, I'm just going to show you how this works. I highly recommend to use a little bit warm water, and here we have a maximum. So what I forgot actually to put this thing back, yeah, that's really important to put this protection back as long as you have it. So to put it back is definitely easier than to grab it. But yeah, let's see how this works. Yeah, now I forgot almost to pull this thing out. And now let's try it with the water. Yeah, you can definitely feel that there is some kind of, you can definitely feel that there is some kind of seal, makes it a little bit hard to secure it. I think it's done now. No, you can see that. That's a good thing here. It's a good thing on the side to see when it's secured. So you have to really push a little bit down hard and then turn, I think. But I wouldn't recommend to ruin this thing. Yeah, there's some kind of gap here. It looks like it's supposed to go inside here, but that's a little bit hard to do. Maybe it's just at the beginning, but that's a small disadvantage here. You can see you can push it down, but then turn it around. This can be super difficult, so I'm not going to do it, to be honest. I think I'll leave it like this. Otherwise, I really fear that I'm going to break that. So definitely at the moment I leave it like this. I put this up, and we can select the mode. We don't have to start it first. We can select the mode first. Put it like, probably I would recommend to put it into soft and then turn it on. I mean, of course, it's a little bit difficult. I have it on the side here, but you can see definitely working. Yeah, all four modes really working. It was no problem. It doesn't go away even if you don't properly secure it here. But it seems to be a little bit a disadvantage here. Maybe I can work on that. But for me, this thing here seems to be too large to fit into this small hole. For some reason, I don't see this possible here. I mean, on top you can secure this, but here underneath on this side. So yeah, I'm still happy, and some kind, but I expected this a little bit better. Yeah, you have to be careful. Yeah, there's one thing which I noticed when you push this inside. Yeah, you haven't seen that. A lot of water came out here, so you have to be careful that you don't point it to sensitive areas. But apart from that, so I'm going to use it on my own. I'm not going to show you that, but I'm letting you know how it worked for me. So here I'm back from testing, and how has it been working for me. So bottom line, actually it didn't work at all. and I would definitely not recommend to buy these things. So the whole concept, I mean, the idea of having this large water tank which you can separate, and this water line, I mean this pipe which you can pull out, is really nicely made. This you can pull down as well, and with the tips which have a thread, this is also really nicely done. You can use that easily, but there are many things where it totally fails actually. And first thing is the normal is very strong already. The soft is super strong. When you use the normal tip like this one here and you go to soft, then it's already super strong, and it caused me some gum bleeding, which I do not have with my favorite one. Here's the REF4 Aya brush or something like that it's called, and that's really a good one. It has also this soft, but it has this tip which is really nice and makes it even more soft. Here with this one you also have this tip, this soft, and it makes it a little bit softer than with the regular one, but the problem is it is too weak. When you push too much or come close, then it goes into all direction, but not in the direction which you want. So the one here, this one is definitely much better in combination with the soft. So for me, definitely didn't work. I didn't find any kind of mode which worked for me. Also, when you screw this in and you are at a comfortable force, like yeah, you shouldn't push too much. I mean, then it is in somehow this direction. You can see that's silly. I think it should be like this at the end. But when you leave it like this, then there's water flowing outside. So you would have to actually go around 360 degrees, but it's too much. It's not working. Maximum is here. Even if you push as much as you can, that's the maximum angle. So actually, yeah, what works is like this, but then in water is flowing, so probably they want you to use something like that. I mean, yeah, you can work with that, but it's not very comfortable. So yeah, this is another thing which does not really work nicely. Then the other thing, I never made this work. I've never been able to secure this cup here nicely. It's impossible. I mean, you can push it down, but there's no way you twist it. No matter how much you push and then twist, it's just not working. And maybe the reason is because this is a little bit further outside, or maybe this side. I think it's on this side where you can see there's a difference. This is probably too far outside. Maybe you could cut a little bit off, but that's not the idea that we cut around these things. So yeah, and also this pull out pipe, the problem is a little bit when you have it outside and you fill it with water, and usually if you push, like in this moment here, there's some kind of vacuum, and when you push, there's water flowing. I mean, really a lot, and it can flow to your wall. And also after that, I mean, of course you can empty it, let it run dry, and usually there's not much inside, but still a little bit is always inside. And when you then push it back, there's always a little bit coming out here, and especially when you forget to run it empty, then there's a lot coming out, and you can definitely hurt something. I mean, not really hurt, but you can put a lot of water in something where you don't want to have water. I mean, I have been able to use that, and the good thing is the cup is really large, 240 milliliters. That's a lot, and I've been able to clean everything nicely. I had a lot of time, plenty of time, inside, outside, up, down. And yeah, I mean, yeah, even though I haven't been able to secure it, I had it just like this. So, and it didn't come off. So if you really like that, apart from that, even though if you cannot secure it, it won't fall off. I mean, you don't have to be worried, at least not at the beginning. I don't know how it will be over time. but it's definitely also something which is rather strange. So a lot of things which are not really working for me, and so I will definitely stick with my old one. The reason why I bought this new one is because the lid here came off, so when you open that usually it falls off, and but it's a small thing. I mean, I can just still put it back and it will be nicely secured, so no water is coming out. And I mean, that's the old thing which everybody had, and that was more like the new style, which is definitely more convenient for travel actually. And I mean, all the ideas, I mean, everything could definitely work nicely if it was just nicely implemented, but it's not nicely implemented. It's actually a complete fail. I mean, not everything, you could use it somehow, but for me it's definitely not working. There are just too many problems with this one. GEEDIAR Water Flosser, this thing here, definitely not working for me. Maybe it's working for other people, but not for me. And that's actually it for now. I hope I've been able to help you a little bit with this video. If you have any questions or comments, please write everything down into the feedback area. I'm always happy to talk about these things. And if you like the video, give me a thumbs up, subscribe my channel. Thanks for watching, and see you next time.